Welcome! This is my channel, Paranoid Tarot. I'm Ren, and today we are going to be looking into what your body is trying to tell you. Is it tired? Is it stressed? Is it overworked? Maybe you're doing good and things need to continue as they are. We're going to find out today. And to do that, we have the Antique Anatomy Tarot. Very cool looking cards. They have a nice vintage look to them. And for our stones, we first have the Larvikite bird skull here, crow skull specifically, I believe. And this one, its elements are earth and wind. Its numerology number, or rather its numerological number, is 2, and its zodiac sign that it represents is Aquarius. This stone helps us process the past and release trauma and pain. So if that's what we need, then perhaps the deck that lies with this stone is the one for you. Moving on, we have the rose quartz here, which represents the element of water. Its numerological number is 7, and the zodiac signs that represent it are Taurus and Libra. Now, the rose quartz is a stone that's related to love, including self-love, romantic love, family love, and platonic love. This goes for your love for the earth, your community. It does not have to strictly be romantic love. It's all sorts of love. And it's a very beautiful, slightly opaque stone. You can kind of see my finger through it. I just love that. The slight translucency or transparency. Last, we have green aventurine. This stone is of the earth element, which it makes sense because it's green. Typically, green stones are of the earth element, I've found so far at least. Its numerological number is 3. It's also of the water element. And its astrological sign is Aries. This stone is good for healing friendships, luck, happiness, your confidence, money, plants, which is fitting since this is in the shape of a mushroom. And it's also good for helping you gain success. Now, let's pull some cards here to see what our 3 decks are going to be. All right, Spirit, tell us 3 things that will represent 3 piles for 3 separate messages to give to the viewers today that relates to their bodies and what their bodies are trying to tell them that right now they aren't hearing, or if they're hearing, they're just kind of pushing it off. And once maybe they hear it here from someone else, maybe then they'll do something about it, and that voice that's in the back of their head will be a little bit more loud. All right, let's get to it. Okay, first we have the Empress. Beautiful card. The Empress represents femininity, beauty, nature, nurturing, abundance. It's about finding that mother figure. Really, if you're someone who is either a mama's girl or boy, they or them, and you really respond to care and love and getting coddled a bit, then I feel like this pile is for you. And I really think the rose quartz goes with this one. So we will place that there. Next, we have Strength in Reverse. And this card in reverse means inner strength, self-doubt, low energy, raw emotion. If you are someone that right now you are low on energy, you have self-doubt, you're kind of overthinking things, and you don't have that confidence in you right now that you really need. And you're someone who could really do with some kind of an uplifting of the spirit. Like that's what gets you going. That's what helps you get things done. Then I think this pile is for you. And you know what? Since the green Aventurine here represents, one of its representations is confidence, I think that this one really fits right here with this card. Next, we have the 9 of Cups, and that's represented by many, many elixirs here. We have Wish Tonic, Love Potion, Bliss Brew, Joy Elixir, number 8, number 9. And so I think that we need to keep in mind here that this card holds in a lot of stuff. It is not just A or B. While it does cover it's like an umbrella. It covers one broad topic over a bunch of little things. And what this card fully represents is contentment, satisfaction. Again, like a whole, like you don't just have contentment in itself. You're content because you have all these things going on around you that's making you feel at peace, making you feel confident, making you feel safe. And it also means satisfaction, gratitude, wishes come true. And if you are a person that you are not about materialism or self-indulgence. You kind of help other people and that's kind of your jam. And maybe that causes you to not help yourself enough. Then I believe this pile is for you. And last but not least, we have our Larvikite here to represent that. Now with the Larvikite, helping us to release past trauma and pain. This really makes me think that, and also it's a good crystal for healing the mind. And this makes me think again, we have a lot going on. And so what we need to heal here is our brain that is just thinking really hard. And if you're someone that puts others before yourself, all these other things before you personally, then I think this pile is for you. Okay, everybody, that about wraps it up before we get into each individual pile. If you'd like, please pause for a moment and see which one resonates with you. See if any of the stones or any of the cards in particular just really pop out, whether just their meaning, the design, anything. Then I would suggest to click ahead to that pile. Down in the description, there will be links to each of the piles so that you can just click and go right to it. And thank you so much for listening, and I look forward to doing your read today. Hello, Pile 1, and welcome. If you chose the Rose Quartz along with the Empress, then this pile is for you. Now, today we're going to pull 3 cards from our tarot deck, and this is going to go over the past, present, and future in regards to what's been going on with your body. And from this, we're going to pull some oracle cards to really figure out what your body is trying to tell you based on what it's going through and based on what it knows is going to happen on the future. So that's what we're going to do today here, Pile 1. And let's get started. All right, Pile 1. First, we have the 2 of Cups represented here as the 2 of Elixirs. And what we're going to do today for each card, instead of just looking into the card's meaning, we are going to also utilize the book provided for us with this deck to find out the author and the illustrator's intentions behind the design of this card and what they feel the meaning is. According to the book, This card represents two people uniting in love and compassion. The union is balanced and fair, and together they can reach new heights. While often signifying romantic soulmates, the Two of Elixirs can also represent a close friendship or beneficial business partnership. If you have been involved in a conflict or argument with a loved one, this card advises that all will be forgiven soon, as long as you approach each other with kindness and patience. Other key words associated with this card are union, true love, soulmates, and karmic connection. This to me says, pile one, that this person that you've had this argument with is important to you, and they aren't just going to go away and disappear. There's someone that they can roll with the punches, but you do need to also be kind and fair with them and to treat them with respect. And if you do, that respect will be treated back to you. And if we look into the actual meaning of the card of the Two of Cups, it pretty much says the same thing. It means unified love, partnership, mutual attraction. This is not a relationship where one of you feels more about the other. You both mutually feel the same way, and you two are connected. And this is a good thing for the body. And even though it's gone through some strain with the stress of this argument, know that you can relax and that this tension isn't going to last forever. It's going to soon ease up, and then you two will be able to, just go with the flow and calm down and really connect with this person again in the way that you used to. Next, we have the Sun, which is part of the major arcana, and a very big card to pull. And this is also in representation of your present, pile one. According to our book, the Sun's numerological number is 19. Its element is fire. And the appearance of the Sun card indicates that a new day has begun. All that is great in your life is illuminated by bright light, and it's time to celebrate. Everything you have worked for now will come into focus. There is no room for self-doubt or low self-esteem with this card. The Sun fills your soul with warmth and joy. You may even feel invincible. Your talents and gifts are recognized, and you will be held in high regard by everyone you come into contact with. The Sun encourages you to share this positivity with other people. Who in your life could benefit from your cheerful disposition? A little happiness can go a long way. Keywords that relate to this card are illumination, joy, celebration, and happiness. And if we look into what the traditional meaning of the Sun is, it's, again, very similar. Positivity, fun, warmth, vitality, and success. This card just radiates with optimism and positivity. And this is great, pile one. This is saying that right now you're doing really well, and your body is encouraging you to spread that love, to spread that compassion, your cheerfulness, your happiness, perhaps do a little bit of charity or volunteer work. And I think that the seeds you plant by doing these things will grow and flourish and go a very long way, pile one. Next, we have, let me do this upright really quick, the Knight of Cups, represented here, of course, by elixirs. And we see that it's a fertility tonic. So we know that's going to have something to do with its meaning, which is really funny because we're really getting this strong love, which is appropriate with the rose quartz and the Empress throughout this entire read. So I really think, pile one, that you are in a committed relationship, and it is perhaps it's gotten a little rocky with this argument, but it's doing good now, and it's going to stay good for a while. Now let's look into what the book says about the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is a romantic and loving and embodies chivalry. He appreciates beautiful things and approaches everything in his life delicately. This guy is so dreamy that occasionally he gets lost in the clouds and doesn't follow through on his promises. Keywords relating to this are romantic, chivalrous, delicate, and affectionate. So perhaps this person that you're with, pile one, is not quite all there. He gets a little distracted. He forgets things from time to time, but he loves you he or she, and they're passionate about you and they do care for you, even though they make these little slip ups. And perhaps that's the reason why this problem happened in the past. It wasn't your fault, but perhaps your significant other's fault. And it's good that from here, we can see that you are showing compassion. And because of that, this relationship is going to continue to flourish. Though I will say we have this card in reverse. So let's look into its tarot meaning. Now, in reverse, the Knight of Cups means overreactive imagination, unrealistic, jealous, moody. So this shows, pile one, that while you should be continuing to explore and spread this happiness, instead you're overthinking, you're imagining these things that your significant other could be doing or thoughtlessly did. And it's actually not true, pile one. It's not, there was no malicious intent behind these mistakes or things that were forgotten. And you need to know that and know that I really don't think that there was any ill intention or ill will behind your person's decisions, and that it's simply because sometimes they just don't think that much. They don't really put things as deep into perspective as you do. And what we need to do, pile one, is showcase this compassion and by doing that, hopefully flip this card around. But for now, as the future foretells, we have this card in reverse, which means we got some moody times coming, but maybe we can change that, pile one, by keeping it in mind. Now, let's put these cards up here and pull some oracle cards to find out what more your body is trying to tell you. Let's first look into the Secrets of Wandwood. Now then, what advice can we give to pile one to help them avoid this moody disposition that is foretold they'll be in? How can we help them to not overthink and to see things as they truly are, and to continue spreading this warmth, this love, this compassion? Oh, this card flipped out, so we'll do that. Oh my God, that is interesting. So so chaos just popped out, right? And then the next card I pull is balance. And these things are just complete opposites, right? Chaos and balance. Well, this is to me saying, since we pulled this card first, right now you are in a state of chaos, which can be something that happens even when you're in a good mood. If you have too much of a good thing or too much energy, we can lose focus and really get lost and distracted and not finish what we're working on. What you need, pile one, is to find balance amongst this chaos. And to do that, you need to really sit down and think about, but not overthink. Like, we don't want to think so hard that the steam's coming out of our ears and coming out of us. We want to meditate and really think, well, what was this person who did this to me? What were they thinking? What was their perspective? And maybe my perspective of this situation is taking this in a much harsher reality than what really is. Why don't we pull some flowers next, pile one, from the Botanical Inspirations deck? What advice can we continue to give to pile one to help them bring this balance back into their life? Is there perhaps a tea or a specific flower they should pay attention to that can help them meditate through this turbulent time? And whoop, we had a card just, it popped out. I caught it. Oh, it's crawling up my arm. Okay. We have honeysuckle. Okay. This says, honeysuckle, domestic happiness and a devoted affection. I will win thee in my arms. So doth the woodbine, the honeysuckle, gently entwist. By William Shakespeare. Yes, Pile 1, you for sure have a wonderful relationship that you need to cherish, to hold intertwined in your arms, and to keep close. And to remember that this is a wonderful happiness you have here. And this affection between you two is devoted. And it's a beautiful thing that needs to be appreciated and cherished. And remember, flowers need to be watered. And that's the same as your relationship. Even though there's some storms that come by that may knock away a few leaves or even a few petals, you can still care and nurture for this relationship and bring it through and help it explore and take its best in the sunniest days. It's just best of times. And I really feel like happy times are ahead for you with this person, Pile 1, and that they are definitely like a good person to have in your life. Even though they're a little forgetful, they may not be perfect, but they do love you and they are devoted to you. I'm going to do one more thing for you, Pile 1. Actually, two more things. First, we're going to pull from this deck of spells to find a spell that can help you really reconnect with this person and feel more at home, feel more comfortable, continue to have this sense of compassion that radiates over the dark clouds. What spell could help Pile 1? Pine Blessings. Let's see if I can get this to focus here. All right, I'll just read it. Burn dried pine needles as incense around your home and business to remove anything that is blocking money and success. So perhaps money and finding success has been a problem, Pile 1. And if so, this is not a problem that is really needs to be rooted within your relationship. I know finances are a huge problem like that can come up with relationships, but perhaps performing this spell with these pines, burning them like incense, which I've never done before. I've never heard of that before. That's very interesting. You can find some peace and be able to block out these negative vibes that are kind of wedging themselves in. And hopefully that'll help keep you from getting into this moody state of mind that takes you away from all this love, all this compassion that you have. And it's a beautiful thing. And I hope the best for you, Pile 1. Now, for our last but not least, we will pull from our dice. Now, I think I want to pick a pink one. Yeah. All right, Pile 1. What numbers do Pile 1 need to pay attention to in order to help them continue this sense of compassion and love and forgiveness? 1. 1 can be the loneliest number, Pile 1. Remember that it takes 2 to make a whole for when it comes to a relationship. And that you two together can be one entity. And there's going to be some mistakes made. There's going to be some problems that come up every now and then. But it's nothing that you two can't get over by coming together. And I think that's what your body's trying to scream at you, Pile 1, is that this is a great thing we have going for us. Let's not let these little issues come in the way of it. And also keep an eye out for the number 1 when trying to make certain decisions. If it just pops out somewhere and you're like, oh, do I do 1, 2, or 3? Well, do number 1. I hope that helps, Pile 1. And if this did anything for you, if it resonated, please subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment, a like. I really would appreciate it. And I hope you have a wonderful morning, evening, afternoon, day, night, whenever this is. And I bid you farewell. Bye. Hello, Pile 2, and welcome. If you chose the green Aventurine with the Strength card, then this read is for you. Now, as a quick recap, green Aventurine is a stone of freedom and good fortune. It urges us to live from a heart-centered place and to be confident about the future. It provides us with the confidence we need to handle new situations, whether this is at school, whether we need it at home, in our job, wherever that may be, which is appropriate to go alongside the Strength card, I believe. Now, let's pull from your past, present, and future with these tarot cards, and we will see what your body is trying to tell you, what it's been going through lately, and what it will go through. And we will then pull from the oracle cards to decide what is your body trying to tell you, what advice does it have that you aren't listening to right now that you need to hear and that you need to do something about. All right, let's do this, Pile 2. We have the World in reverse. Let's take a look at that. And there it is, normal ways. Then we have the Empress, which was the patron card for pile number 1. And then we have the Four of Coins in reverse, which is the Four of Pentacles. Now, let's look into what each of these mean. First, we will start with the past, with the World. The World in reverse means seeking personal closure, shortcuts, delays. If you have perhaps been in a relationship, Pile 2, that just ended recently, or perhaps even not so recently, even more than a year ago, then perhaps you've been trying to seek closure on this and you have not found it, and you've tried to do little tips and tricks to try to get over it, and it is just still clinging to you. Now, this doesn't have to be romantic. This could also be about a job that you lost, or just something in general that was once had and is now not, and you're seeking closure on it, but you can't get it. You can't find that solace. Now, as for the Empress, this is the embodiment of feminine energy. It's elegance, it's grace, it's compassion, it's a motherly figure. And this is for your present card. So that to me says that perhaps you've been leaning on either your mother or someone who is like a mother to you, perhaps an older, wiser woman that you know of that is someone compassionate and has been giving you the love that you need and has been actually helping you find some solace here and help you get some closure. But it's not quite there yet. You still need, even if you found closure, you still need strength, courage, and confidence, and to really get yourself back into gear. Now, the Four of Pentacles in reverse, now this is your future card here. It represents overspending, greed, self-protection. So this suggests that after all of this, what is going to lead you to is spending too much money, really kind of overindulging on yourself, which is why this compassionate love isn't all that great, because while we do want to love ourselves, we don't want to overindulge in negative things or things that could have consequences. Like drinking could feel great in the moment, but it's unhealthy for your body and it leaves you with a hangover the next day. So while that love and that feel-good feeling, the warm fuzzy feeling was great at the time, it's actually bad for you in the long run. And that's what I'm seeing here with this card in regards to this compassion that was given, because you've lost something and you've been searching for a way to fill this hole. Now that we have our basis, let's pull some oracle cards to really figure out what your body is trying to tell you, pile 2. Okay. We will begin by pulling from the secrets of Wandwood. And we will use these cards to find out what advice is pile 2's body trying to give them that they just aren't listening to right now, or they're overlooking. And please give them some words or something to spark that thought of, hey, maybe something needs to change here. We have breathe as our first card. Yes, every now and then we just need to really just take things slow and breathe in. I know that wasn't a good breath, but anyway, yes, we need to try to take a moment to just kind of sit back, relax, and focus on ourselves rather than focusing on trying to fill a void and find something else to do that. First, we need to find a balance within ourselves. And to do that, we need to breathe and relax and just kind of chill out for a bit. And after that, we need some caring. Now, we already have that from our Empress figure here, and it is not all a bad thing to have, even if it takes you to this rough ending. Right now, caring is something that you need and is not something you need to throw away, and is something you need to cleave to, but appreciate. Don't let it go to your head and make you smug or like pig-headed or something like that. Take it for what it is, and it's tokens of love. It's tokens, compliments, and things like that are feel-good feelings that you can enjoy without letting it become something that it's not, become something dark and something selfish. Next, we are going to pull from the Prism Oracle, which is cards that are full of colors and they have one little piece of word of wisdom to keep an eye out for. And we're going to see what your body is trying to tell you that will help you heal in ways that you don't realize that it needs healing right now. Fear. Right now, because of this past that you have, fear is blocking you from moving forward and from really embracing this care and from being able to breathe. And it's not unfounded fear. It's fear that is based off of something that's happened. So it's not like you're just a worrywart and worrying about it for nothing. Something's happened to you and now it's plaguing you and it's keeping you in this state of fear, even if it's in the back of your mind, even if you don't think about it every now and every second of the day, it's still there. And this is stopping you from really loving yourself, from being able to breathe, from really believing the compliments that this care figure says. And it's what's going to lead you to spending your money and using it on self-indulgence and things that you don't really need that are going to just hurt you in the long run because it's going to be wasting your money. And all of this is rooted from fear. And so we need to help your mind release this fear so that you can breathe and that you can be cared for and then care for others as well. But how do we get rid of fear? That's such a big ask. I think we need to consult more cards. Let's pull from the Shamanic Healing Oracle and see what can Pile 2 do to heal their body from all of this stress, all of this strain that it's going through right now. What words of wisdom can be given so that they can heal this fear that is overtaking them and that is just plaguing their life and is affecting way more aspects than they realize in their day-to-day? Truth. Okay. This to me says that there is a truth you are denying and it is holding you back by doing so. There is something here that you know that you have been denying and pushing back. You've been afraid, and because of that, it's keeping you from being able to be happy again and be your true self. And if you embrace the truth and the circumstances for how things are, then that will be the first step to calming down, being able to breathe, being able to allow yourself to be cared for, and not at the same time fall into this state of overindulgence where you're just spinning to try to feel better. So I really feel like that's going to help you, Pile 2. But first, let's pull some numbers, huh? Feeling drawn to this dice right here. What number is going to help Pile 2 make decisions this week in their day-to-day? Whether it is a time of the day to do something or just a number to keep an eye out for. Oop. We have 19. Okay. So keep a lookout for the number 19. It's a very random number, I know. And also keep a lookout for the number 12 because we got that here with truth. So that is where I'm going to leave you, Pile 2. If this helped you in any way, shape, or form, please leave a comment, like, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. It really helps me out and I really appreciate it. I hope you have a great morning, afternoon, evening, night, whenever this reaches you, and have a great whatever. Bye. Hello, Pile 3. If you picked the Larvikite Crow Skull with the 9 of Cups, then this read is for you. Just a quick refresher, the 9 of Cups means contentment, satisfaction, gratitude, wishes come true. And what we also have here is the Larvikite, of course. This rock, just as a fun fact, is found in both Norway and Canada. And it is known to be a wise and protective stone. It cancels out dark magic and hexes and repels all forms of negative energy. And if that's what you feel you need, then get ready, Pile 3. We're going to get into it. All right, first, we are going to pull your past, present, and future, Pile 3, to find out what your body has been going through, what it's going through right now, what it'll go through in the future, and then after that, we'll pull some oracle cards, and these will help us find out what your body's trying to tell you what you can do about it, how you can solve these issues that are arising, that are bothering your body, and you don't even realize it. You're just you might realize it, but you're kind of putting it off. You're not taking it to heart like you should be. And you need to put yourself first sometimes. Do a little self-love, self-care. Interesting. This is funny because we had the world in, I believe it was Pile 2, but in reverse. But now we have it upright. Now, the world upright. This means completion, integration, accomplishment, travel. So perhaps if you've done these things, then you've had a good time. What is wrong with my words? You've had a good time so far, and you've had this sense of contentment in your past. And that's good. That's great to hear, pile 3. And now for your present, we have the 6 of Pentacles. Now, the 6 of Pentacles, this means giving, receiving, sharing wealth, generosity, charity, which is great to hear. So that to me says you've been doing a lot of giving because you felt content and accomplished here. You've therefore spread your wealth. And that is a beautiful thing. Very beautiful. Lastly, we have the 5 of Swords. Okay. Now, the 5 of Swords means conflict, disagreements, competition, defeat, winning at all cost. So we have this very nice past and present, but we have a rough future foretold here where there's going to be some sort of conflict or disagreement, and that is going to cause a competition in which you are not the victor here. And even if you are the victor, it's a victory that has its own loss, where perhaps you lose a friendship or trust in someone or someone's respect, something of that nature. Now, this is all things like these are here we have very good things for the body, things that'll help uplift you, lose that tension, help you just kind of vibe with everyone around you and relax. But here we have a tense presenting future. And I'm a little worried for you, pile 3, but we will pull the oracle cards to see what we can do to make sure we put you first when you need to be put first, and to take care of your body and your mind just alike. Let's pull from the Secrets of Wanwood. I've been really feeling drawn towards these cards today. All right. What wisdom, what little tokens of knowledge can we give to pile 3 to help them in this future with this disagreement, this competition? How can they resolve it before it even happens? Is that possible? And can we alleviate the stress they put on their body by doing so? How can we do that? Okay, first we have magical harmony. This to me says that you need to tap into your magical roots, the different things you can do to be able to harness magic. And what are those things? Well, there's lighting a candle, there's meditation, there's making elixirs in terms of finding certain herbs to blend together like a tea and to brew and to then filter and drink. And there's so many different things you could do, just little everyday things to help build this magical harmony and to help you really connect with nature and all of what nature has to offer you. Next, we have tradition. This to me is saying that you need to look back again to your roots to find out some traditional values that are in both your family and your belief system that you hone yourself to, that you can follow in both and utilize with this magical harmony card here, so that you can really build a future that is based off a strong foundation, that's based on values, like with this tradition card, and based off of good feelings, good vibes, good intentions, like what we can manifest here with this magical harmony. Next, let's pull from the Moon Witch Oracle. Now, when we pull from these, we're going to be asking, what is it that is stressing out pile 3's body? that's going to lead them to this future, that what can be told to them to help them avoid it and to have a more pleasant outcome that lets their body rest and to recuperate and to keep being able to be in a state where they can keep giving and keep providing for others like they feel drawn to do, as foretold by these cards. Okay, waning gibbous. Count your blessings. Now, looking into what you have and what you've given to others, let's not discount that. Let's remember that if we're giving so much, that means that we've had a lot, that we've had to be able to give. And those are blessings. Even if we're giving it to someone else, it's still a blessing that we were bountiful enough, that we had enough to be able to do that in the first place. The waning gibbous is between sunset and midnight, and it's a time of a phase of the moon, of course. And so I would suggest between sunset and midnight, that being the time that you harness this magical harmony and look back on your traditions. Because sometimes we have so much to do and we just don't know when we can focus this or that. This is telling us when to do that. In between sunset and midnight. I don't want to leave you there, pile 4. So let's look at this rune deck here and find some more advice. What can we do? What can we advise pile 3 in regards to what they can do for their body to be able to have a pleasant future and retain this sense of wealth and abundance so that they can continue to be charitable and continue this state of giving of what they receive and to be merry about it? Kaonas? I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce that name. Here's a better look at the card. Kaonas. Okay. So this rune means torch, and it also means knowledge, craft, tradition, control, fire, heart, experience. And to me that says that, again, you need to go back to your traditional values, both perhaps whether it's your family, spiritually, or just plain old beliefs that you have, convictions that you've been overlooking that actually will help you more than you realize. And these things are built off of experience and off of knowledge of your ancestors and those before you. So there's power in that, and we don't need to feel bad about needing to lean on that every now and then. Alright, pile 4, let's cap things off by looking for numbers. Feeling drawn to this dice. A number here that will help us make a decision as to, let's say, so we have a time here between sunset and midnight. But what time within that time? Is there a time that will strike better, or a certain idea will come about whereas it wouldn't otherwise? 70. Now that does not help us with a time at all. So you've heard it from the dice. Pile 3. If there is anything that sticks out to you that has the number 70, like perhaps 70 calories are in this certain tea that you decide to blend or decide to put together for your magical harmony moment, or something of that sort. Just anything when it catches your eye, be like, oh, that's actually the one I wanted. And I hope that helped you. I hope it resonated, pile 3. If it did in any way, shape, or form, please like, comment. If you haven't yet, please subscribe. It really and I hope you just have a great time. And thanks again for listening to this read. All right, bye.